All right, let's go. All right, we're here today with a brand new product. I'm going to be showing you how instead of bringing the heat with something like the sauna box, we're going to be showing you how to beat the heat this summer with the Warrior Willpower's Warrior Pro Chiller and their extra large plunge bath bundle. And of course, we're going to be going into all the specifics regarding its capacity, how cold it actually gets, and is it worth the price tag. So just starting with a quick overview of what this bundle is all about. It is a high quality cold therapy unit designed for recovery and muscle performance. Of course, it features its spacious design, allows for full body immersion like you've probably seen all over TikTok. And of course, it utilizes its advanced cooling technology to maintain its low temperatures. Now, of course, like a lot of other popular cold plunges out there, this is made of a high quality drop stitch material and of course is inflatable. Some other key information about this plunge bath is of course its dimensions. It features 60 inches in its length, 31 inches in width, and 26 inches in height. It is also suitable for people up to 6 feet 9 inches, and the tub itself only weighs a very light 15 pounds. Now, of course, moving on from the dimensions, we can go straight into the capacity. So Warrior Willpower states that it carries up to 120 gallons of water, and they say it can actually carry up to 2 people in it at a time. Now, of course, while it is pretty big and the length is quite sufficient, carrying 2 people in here probably isn't the best. I don't think any cold plunge really is. But of course, if that's something that you want to do, you could 100% do that in this cold plunge due to its long length. Fitting in here is going to be no problem at all for anybody. With normal, let's say something like the ice pod or the ice barrel, you are kind of scrunched up because it is in more of a narrow barrel type of style. But of course, with this long trough-like format, you can actually lay down and while being a bit more upright. So of course, with that being said, you will have plenty of leg space, a lot more space to kind of move around. So the capacity and the size here should really be no question as to whether it'll be big enough. Now, of course, moving on into how cold it actually gets, I do currently have the chiller running, so it is not quite done yet. But let's actually get into some of the specifics about what this Pro Chiller is actually all about. Now, of course, let's get into why the Warrior Pro Chiller actually gives us some of the best of many different worlds. Now, of course, starting us off is that 1/2 horsepower compressor that Warrior Willpower offers us. Comparing this to something like the Ice Pod, another popular ice bath brand, they only offer a 1/3 horsepower compressor, while on their Pro version, they do offer the 1/2. You do have to upgrade to actually get that. Some other key features of the Pro Chiller, of course, includes its lightweight 55-pound stainless steel box design. Of course, it is covered in a matte black corrosion-resistant paint, perfect for both indoor and outdoor use. Now, another quick note and actually a quick tip from Warrior Willpower is actually to keep this under some sort of shade or umbrella. Of course, it does have that corrosive paint, so it will prevent against most wear and tear. But of course, elemental factors such as the wind, rain, things like dirt and sand, of course, can cause additional wear and tear. So keeping this in a nice, cool, dry spot, preferably under some shade, will be ideal. All right, so it has been about 5 hours now, so let's check on our chiller and see how cold it has gotten. Now, of course, as we revisit our chiller, we see it's at 45 degrees right now. Of course, that is in Fahrenheit. According to their website, they do state that it gets anywhere from 39 to 49 degrees, which is about the optimal temperatures for a cold plunge. And of course, after a few short hours being in a hot garage, it has gotten down to that optimal level. We can even see some condensation coming within those pipes there. So overall, pretty quick. Now, of course, going back to talking about whether the Pro Chiller is actually worth that Pro name, I have to say 100% yes. Now, of course, Warrior Willpower, of course, not to call out Ice Pod specifically, but they just give you that Pro version straight up. They give you that 1/2 horsepower, of course, which allows for better cooling, better for maintaining of those low temperatures that, of course, we're looking for. Similarly, in my last video when we were talking about the sauna box, of course, we're looking for something that'll bring the heat. The one thing with Warrior Willpower is that if you're looking to beat the heat, this will 100% do it. Now, of course, while I did just give this tub and chiller some praise for the past few minutes, I do have to talk about some of the negatives. Some of these do include the fact that this is, of course, inflatable, and while it does have that high quality drop stitch fabric, it is always prone to punctures or holes. Of course, scraping it or dragging it along the floor, whether it's indoors or outdoors, of course, it can catch on something and of course can mess with it. The one nice thing though is that they do have a 1-year warranty. So of course, if anything does happen within that 1 year, of course you can return it. But overall, if you are looking to use this as a long-term investment, of course, something with inflatable tubs or really just all inflatable cold plunges in general, you do need to be careful about punctures. Now, of course, getting past that one negative, everything else seems to be completely fine here. I've had no problems with it personally. I haven't heard of many problems coming from Warrior Willpower at all or from anyone else who uses it. Of course, it is a large size, so keep that in mind depending on what you are looking for. But besides that, nothing is going to make this video much better than you getting to watch me hop in this thing. Let's get to it. All right, so I am ready. As I had said before, we're going to do another quick temp test. We are still about at that 40 range, right about there, if y'all can see that. There we are. Yes, 45 degrees is a little cold. I have not done it this cold before, so let's see what happens. Oh, you gotta like jump around, this is scary. You gotta like stretch out a bit. All right, let's go. Deep breaths. All right, guys, so there are a lot of other inflatable cold plunges out there on the market. Of course, a lot of them are going for around $3,000, but of course, with Warrior Willpower, you can get that same quality for half the price. And of course, using my link and code Ethan10 in the description, you can get yourself another $100 off. And of course, with that being said, stay frosty.